check for the episode again.
And the mic, we'll have to yell, I think.
No, mic is okay. Mic works. I've checked that. But welcome back to episode number 9 of the Born Podcast. Chandni, Anshika.
So 9.
Brownies. They are 9, yeah. And we decided just to add like a little bit of character to each of these episodes that we're trying to do. We'll just do random things. So today we decided to eat a brownie.
I don't know what Anshika is saying. I just really wanted to eat this like right now.
It's just a prop.
It's just a prop. I think we are the props. Let's get
There we
started.
are.
Yeah.
Okay. Today I want to talk about, we were coming back home from meeting one of our friends, and we were talking about gut and instinct, and like when it comes to judging people, how much of it do you trust and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And somewhere I think Chandni does a lot of hiring at C4E, and most of it is based on gut and instinct and what you can tell about people
Yeah.
in the first glance. What's your thought on that?
I was just washing my face before this and I thought about how I would start talking about this, and it essentially came down to this, right? What's my use of my gut? Where do I need to take decisions based on gut is what I started thinking about. One of it was with people, right? And what I mean by that is that today, as of me being 22, working in whatever XYZ, I know that I need to meet certain kinds of people. What I mean by that is I need to meet people like AK said who we would hire at C4E. I need to meet people who I like spending time with, intellectually stimulate me, are super interesting to know, people I can learn from, etc. And then there are other people I would want to know for various projects.
Yeah, like partnerships and things.
Exactly, right? So these are in my head, this is the sort of distinction right now. And what I mean, and that's one role of gut, right? In other cases, the role of gut could be in terms of like super personal, wherein I decide what I want to do with life and work, etc. But specifically talking about people, but because that's both relevant, like that's relevant to both of us. I think a large part of deciding who I spend time with, the kind of people I talk to, engaging them, gut has played a large role, right? And AK introduced that thought. Today, while there are certain processes in place to sort of understand whether I would be friends with AK or not, gut plays a large role. But that's what I want to start with. So in my life, I think these are the 3 kinds of people I want to meet, right? And I'll talk about the role that gut plays. I know what I want for the most part in life today, and I am constantly chasing certainty in terms of decisions. Like I do want to know whether the decision I'm making right now is right or not. And a year ago I realized that I wouldn't find out. Like there's no way to know. There is no way to know. You have to take the decision, you have to make mistakes, you have to be mindful of what you do. And of course these can't be like irreversible like mistakes per se, but you have to take that leap of faith decision, etc. You can't take that without intuition and gut, right? That's one part of it. Second is, if you are relying so much on this like gut or your intuition, how do you know, like, is it reliable or not? Like,
Exactly.
Right?
How do you trust yourself with all these decisions?
Exactly. And before I get to the solution I got from one of my mentors, do you want to talk about like gut being reliable and how do you trust it? What's your thought?
Correct. So, I like to believe I'm a very gut-driven person, very instinct-driven person. If I don't like you in the first 3 seconds of meeting you, I'd probably not be as close to you in the near future. We'll probably not be friends. We'll not do laundry together. We do laundry together. Now. So that is one. And what happens then is, because I consistently have noticed myself to follow this rule of do our vibes match, and sometimes I am wrong, I'm oftentimes wrong because people take time to open up. But something in me tells that okay, this might not be right. In that case, especially when we are working with people at DD and we're trying to hire people together, which we do together, I've noticed oftentimes my gut tells me something is wrong.
Yeah.
And I can't pinpoint like this is exactly like maybe this person has communication issues.
Yeah.
Or we are not their priority, things like that.
Yeah.
But I don't have tangible proof of it. But something in me tells me ki,
and it's almost always been right.
And it's almost always been right.
And I come and question Anshika. I'm like, no, AK, this is not how it works. You have to give me a reason. I can't go and, we can't go to a person and tell them that, hey, this isn't working.
Our
because
vibe is not
it-
matching.
Exactly, right? And we are super mindful about that. Most times our vibe is not matching is super rational, but we know it's also a responsibility to convey that with the other person.
And
So that's
then
the
you
debate
go back
we
home
typically
and
have.
probably like go back and think, ki, okay, this
Yeah.
particular thing might be a red flag,
Exactly.
which probably builds a point.
Exactly.
And what I've realized is that in most cases, so far at least, 90% times, I've been fair about what I have judged
Yeah.
a person for. Second, as a young person, you probably also don't have enough proof of your gut working to trust yourself.
For sure.
And
Yeah.
over time, you start seeing, okay, ये
Yeah.
मेरा सही है इतना वाला, ये मेरा गलत है. This I'll build upon.
Correct.
But this heuristic is working for me. If
Yeah.
somebody comes and asks me, what's your time expectation out of me? Fair question. But I've also realized
It doesn't
they
work.
they only want to do 4 hours with us and go home and not do things with us. And we are very long term. We
Yeah.
want you to spend ideally
Exactly.
your entire life with us.
Yeah.
But like that's 2 ways I've thought about building gut and realizing that as a young person you probably need proof, but you should start trusting yourself from the very start.
I think I quite like what you said about you obviously cannot trust it as a young person. And think about this, right? If you've met 40 people and you had to make like a decision about the kind of relationship you have with these 40 people, your gut will be here. If you've met 400 people, it's
It'll be
obviously going to be here, right? You obviously it's trained, right? And this is what I was talking about. That one time I was telling one of my mentors, is telling sort of that I don't know, I can't take this decision. What if I'm wrong? And he's like, it's okay. You have to be wrong once for you to, and you also have to be right for your gut and your intuition for you to know that okay, when I went into this territory, it wasn't right for me. When I went here, it was right for me. And this decision, not this decision, this result helps you make that decision better next time.
Yeah.
Without those results, like if you sit at home and try to like practice gut, that's not how it works. You can't practice it. I mean, can you? I don't know. You should tell us.
I think you probably practice it just by like going out and meeting more
exactly.
people. And
Yeah.
if you expand your say sample space, you just your gut, your heuristics, your mental shortcuts just become more sensitive to things, and you're able to catch on these cues easily. Justify नहीं कर पाओगे probably. I am hardly able to. I really have to
Today
spend
you
a
did a
lot of
great
time.
job. This
Yeah.
morning.
But generally बहुत सोचना पड़ता है
Yeah.
करने के लिए.
I mean,
Yeah.
if this segues into, it's so easy to say that you don't like a particular thing. You don't. This doesn't fit well with me. But I know that I've seen Anshika also try this lately, and I try it as well. That we try to rationalize it because now, like as an adult, you're not the only one that's involved in like everything. There are more
Exactly.
people
Your decisions
involved.
have consequences, and you need to be
Exactly.
mindful about
Consequences
it.
that affect other people also. not just
Correct.
me.
Like
Otherwise, I'm like,
if we don't want someone and it's good to say, but we also know that you
Yeah.
might tell somebody we don't want you, and they might go back home and feel bad about it.
yeah.
Can we give you constructive feedback about it?
Exactly, right? And that constructive feedback, I've realized, probably feedback on say specific projects or the person itself, comes from a lot of self-reflection also, because you need to know what you want, and this is segue, right? I mean, we're not talking about gut anymore, but that's what, right? You need to know what you want. You need to be able to understand the world enough, on like to be able to tell them empathy. Shit,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
it's empathy.
Empathy.
How do you? I realized this very early on. I had a very specific. I was not very comfortable with giving feedback, especially when I had to give it to like say peers. But I realized very early on that the way to do it is to understand how people receive feedback. I know for a fact that somebody would be, maybe somebody who's like an anxious person, they would be less anxious if we spoke on call because they can gauge my vibe.
Correct.
My comments on Google Docs may seem like something super scary.
Correct. Yeah.
Right? Like today, if we talk, I can gauge your tone in multiple ways, but not everybody can, right? Your hand may slip. This is a
It's
trust
called,
test. Trust
virtue
test.
signaling.
Trust test. Trust. Right?
But
So
yeah.
exactly, I think that. So like understanding how
You
people-
know when I'm about to punch you, right? That's like
Yeah.
your gut telling you.
Exactly.
No, but
That's my reflex. Whatever the biology. That's my
oh, but
reflex.
that also makes me think about how you also. So gut is your shortcut to life.
Why is
but-
gut called gut?
Like gut is called gut because you feel something in your gut. Okay, so I watched this clip, a real clip, and my facts are really fuzzy. Don't trust me. Go do your research. but I read something about how your brain and your gut parts.
Those two.
We see the same content.
Yeah, I saw this too.
They develop together, and the tissues or nerve cells and synapses and things are connected somehow. So what you feel here,
Affects that.
indirectly is a manifestation here or something like that. So somehow they're connected.
Some connection basically.
There's some connection, and like your shortcuts here are felt here, or whatever you feel here just goes here indirectly. Something
Maybe
like
that's what butterflies are. Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah. Oh, that reminds me of a very disconnected but brilliant thing I read somewhere. That sometimes you don't want the butterflies in relationships because those butterflies are a way to tell you that something is not fitting in. The anxiety is not fitting in, and that these butterflies, you don't want somebody you have butterflies with, but somebody you can be super chill with because you know it's like a safe space. And I don't know how much I believe it. It's very pop culture, love.
I saw it in a very shitty pop culture show only, where they talked about, do you settle down with somebody who gives you butterflies or somebody who gives you butterflies, fireworks, one of these things,
or like peace.
or somebody who gives you calm? Exactly. I don't know the answer. I don't know.
I think initially
I
you
want
want
to
some
mix
butterflies and then you want your peace, but you also want to have your butterfly moments.
Peace night. I want butterflies and stability. Like, I don't want butterflies. It's butterflies and stability.
You want sleeping butterflies.
But I think with biology, I mean, what you were telling,
Huh.
I always thought like butterflies are a positive thing because they don't feel matlab, shitty, no?
But
Like,
they're also like jumping around and like looking for the thing. There's some chaos.
yeah.
So-
I think I want sleeping butterflies.
Yeah, no, I was coming to the point that it's. Can you give me some water?
Yes.
Boy.
I don't understand how Anshika catches onto these trends. And
I want to understand because I need to stop. What happened?
nothing. Just joking.
हाँ so ठीक है gut तुम्हारा shortcut होता है but you also need to be able to define it मतलब वो skill you don't have. For example, if my solution to everything in life is I trust my gut, which is fair, but defining it is important. Gives you clarity of what you want in life, what you don't want in life. Maybe this does not make me feel good. That's my gut telling me I don't feel great about this situation here. But what is it that's irking me?
हाँ मेरा अलग है मतलब मैं तब ले लेती हूँ like I trust it and I do the thing and later I'll
But you
reflect.
go back home, but you have to do that also.
And you know this like going back to taking decisions based on gut and conveying them, I think there will be some situations where you cannot
It has been shut off.
exactly not speak now. There will be some times where I'll punch you if you beat me another bite. There will be some times where you cannot tell the other person. It is just a gut feeling, and it will come back to you like a year later. And that's
Exactly, it has happened with us.
yes, and I've seen this happen to us at C4D, especially when we're hiring. But there's so many times I go back on a call, so we don't do our. If you've spoken to somebody on a call for an interview of sorts, we also do the polite rejection on a call. So many times I've gone back and I've told them, I just get this feeling that this won't work out, right? And I hate it. At least in the beginning, I hated it. And then I try to understand from other people's reactions how they would like to, sort of find this out without feeling like we're just giving them an excuse. And that's when I realized I can't give them a specific reason because in that moment I don't have a specific reason, right? It is my gut, it is my intuition. It's funny how it has said gut in this video. It's my intuition and it is based on multiple things that I cannot explain to them, right? What we try to do is help them in other ways. If we're telling them this, we tell them to stay in touch with us, we tell them to come back to us. We'll go back to you when we feel like, okay, another thing is opened up that's coming for you. But I think it's okay. It's okay to explain to you.
Work with people in different capacities than what they were trying to apply for right now.
Yeah.
Because this might not work, but something
Exactly.
else might be something
Exactly.
that works.
Even today when you were giving feedback, if out of the 6 things that we've received, if the 6th thing just does not fit and you cannot for the life of you point out,
Okay.
that's okay. That's what I think. I think that's okay.
So what happened today
Because it
was
comes to
we're
you.
trying to do an anthology and we are deciding on a cover, and we got someone to do the first draft of things.
It was a
And then
brilliant
there was
document.
6 versions. It was
Yeah.
lovely. It was brilliant. So much effort went in. And I had to give feedback. So I could go 2 ways. One was that I like this, rest are trash. Let be. And
Pick
not
this
trash.
and go ahead.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like take these 2 and go ahead. But I sat down because somebody put in the effort also to actually tell them, okay, I like this. This is not fitting well with me. I sat down, I think for 30 minutes. I've never
Yeah.
thought for
I
something
know,
for 30
yeah.
minutes and did that. Like इतना नहीं सोचती मैं.
Yeah.
मेरा vibe आता है, नहीं आता है, चला जाता है. But it was a
Correct.
fun exercise to do.
Yeah, because see, right? I mean, see, if you don't want to help somebody, don't, right? That's not the point of this. But this allowed the designer to learn. I mean, this like simple exercise let them know they could have done the job very easily. We could have moved ahead by just picking an option, leaving the other two. But every time they think about a project like this, every time they pick up a bigger project that requires such thinking, they know how to tackle a problem because such feedback was given to them, right? And I have been lucky to have gotten specific feedback when I started working, and I think it's good.
It also
Yeah.
helps you
Something-
build like those long-term relationships
Yeah.
with people to actually invest your time
Yeah.
in what's coming. I'm not disrespectful for the other 4 versions that
Exactly.
probably came to me.
Exactly.
I know work went in. It just did not work.
And we
out
know
that
how
way.
it feels when you don't get specific feedback, right? I mean, most
Ah.
times I never used to back, I don't know, a few years ago, but so we know how it feels. That's why when we're on the other side, we try to do our best. But
Right.
yeah, that's about it for intuition from my side.
Huh. I mean, yeah, I learned all this in sort of one that
Same.
talk to a lot of people, build it,
Yes.
be okay to be wrong, but you know that the upsides of being right are always helpful. It's
Yeah.
short-term thinking.
Yeah.
And my 2 cents would be to go home and define it. Don't rely like entirely on it
Yeah.
because it helps you know what
Self-reflection at
you want.
its
It's
core,
just
right?
important.
Oh, talk to people. Also observe people around you. Like,
yeah.
don't if you're at a dinner table and you don't have much to say, look at how people are eating, look at how they're sitting, look at what they say when they say, make this
Read
your homework.
them.
Like, yeah, and not this is not even a read the room conversation, but reading people in general to improve your sort of understanding of people in general.
It just helps you know like
Super.
how people see themselves in the setting,
Yeah.
where they place themselves, where they are what do you say, what's the word for it,
How they
involuntarily
perceive
are placing themselves, or how they think
Yeah,
they're placed,
exactly.
all of those things. It's just nice to understand those dynamics.
All of this is a game of people, right? I mean, how all of it is relationships. Everything you do today, life, work, etc. If you understand people, you're like good. And I think we're trying to.
Talk to them, watch us.
Don't be creepy.
No, it's okay.
We're telling other people to go out in the world and watch them and be creepy.
Oh, not that way.
Oh yeah, you can watch this. I mean,
Yeah, you can watch us.
We're nice people.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's all for today. We did this in person with a tripod or whatever. So that's
This is the
fun.
first.
Yes.
And I'm gonna go take a walk and stop recording because we don't have the system sorted yet. And we'll not edit it
You don't
because we
have
don't
one of
have a
those?
designer.
You don't have one of those. अरे ये तो crop कर सकते हैं before I put it on YouTube. I
It's
can
okay, हम डाल देंगे ना, जानना मुझे नहीं करना है. एडिटिंग में मेहनत नहीं करनी है bro.
नहीं करनी.
अभी नहीं करेंगे.
चलना तो शुरू करो.
Walk of fame.
Walk of fame.
ये इतना सैचुरेटेड क्यों है?
क्या हुआ?
पता नहीं, आपको
पहले recording बंद कर.